All right, I got 4 things for you to focus on your bicep. You wanna isolate your bicep, work your bicep, not the connective tissue. That's the goal with this all these exercises today, okay? There's 4 things I'm gonna show you, whether you're using a dumbbell or whether you're using a barbell. They're all the same. All these principles work, okay? So, 4 things you can focus on. And I really hope it helps. If you have any questions, boom, you wanna work on these, okay? Let's rock it. All right, the first thing you wanna focus on is keeping your elbows slightly forward, just like this, right? You'll see in the box here, my picture, when I'm doing it like this, you're limiting your range of motion, okay? Most people do bicep curls here, and it's just wrong. So when you're here, you're getting, the lever is not fully able to get enough tension on it, so you're here, but once you come forward a little bit, that's when your bicep gets all of that tension, right? Because the lever arm is out. So there you go, just like that, okay? That's a correct bicep curl here. Now you can see the picture, when you're doing it here, it's not as much work in that. So what I'm gonna show you is there's a couple things you need to focus on. Number 1, you've gotta keep your chest plate up, okay? Number 2, you've gotta stay on your heels. If you go on your toes, when you lean forward, with the waist forward a little bit, that weight's gonna pull you forward. So keep that chest plate up, stay on those heels, keep those shoulder blades retracted and depressed. See, we don't wanna come here like this, boom, there, like this. Boom, chest plate is up, here, and even I'm rotating, same thing, boom, just like this. See my body here? Chest plate is up, I'm on my heels. If I'm on my toes, you can see I start to fall forward. If I'm on my toes, my body can't stay up, right. It gotta stay on my heels, about 90% of your weight on your heels. There you go, elbows slightly forward. You can do hammer curls, you can do barbell curls, and as you can see, same thing with the barbell here. If I lean forward, my toes, my body goes forward. Chest plate up, stay on those heels, elbows slightly forward, just like that. All right, this is the second point. This is actually the most important point. The reason I showed the first one is because I wanted to show you a quick tip and technique if you only watched the first part, but this is the most important point. Don't swing the weight. Do not swing the weight. As you can see, if you swing the weight, look at the guy right there, swinging the weight, swinging his body. What you're doing is you're letting momentum take the work, right? The muscle is not working that much at all. So all of the energy and the work is going into the tension, the connective tissue as well, but all that energy is just inertia. You're using your hips and your shoulders to start throwing the weight. That's where the work's done, and your hips are so much bigger and your shoulders are so much bigger than your bicep that you're not gonna end up working much of your bicep at all. So do not swing the weight. Now I'm gonna show you correctly how to do the lift here. Now I'm gonna do rotating, kind of show you, boom. These are hammer rotating curls. Here like this, boom, just like that, or double. Now if I'm doing this is where the swing, see my body wants to swing. You've gotta fight that battle. By staying on your heels, like I said in the first point, 90 or 80% on the heels, chest plate up, don't come here. Boom, talk about that in just a second. Boom, here. So my body's gonna wanna swing a little bit. It's gonna swing a little bit, but what I'm not gonna do is do this. All right, the third point is called internal rotation. We do not wanna do this. We do not wanna become kyphotic. That's gonna put a ton of pressure on your low back, and it's also just gonna mess up your whole body, and your whole spinal column is gonna go out of whack if you're here like this. So the way to avoid that, as I talked about this in the first 2 points, is to make sure you stay on your heels whenever you're doing any bicep curl, barbell or dumbbell. You wanna stay 90 to 80% of the weight on your heels. Keep your knees slightly bent, that's the second point, right? 90% on the heels, 80%. Second point is keep your knees slightly bent at all times. And then the third part is kick your hips back just a little bit. All right, so now when you kick your hips back, like I just showed you, what's gonna happen is you're gonna keep that weight on your heels more effectively, right? And now, the one is the heels, second is the knees, third is kicking that anterior pelvic tilt, your hips back slightly. Fourth is retract and depress those shoulder blades. So chest up is a result of that, right? So retraction and depression of the shoulder blades. When you do that bicep curl, you wanna make sure you're not coming here and become kyphotic or internal rotation, right? So you're here. So it looks like this. There, so make sure you don't internally rotate and you stay up here and just like this. All right, the fourth point here is to slow down. Get a slow eccentric movement pattern, right? When you're going down on this, every time bicep, barbell, dumbbell, cables, anything, you want to go twice as slow on the way down. The reason is because the bicep is not a prime mover. It's not a glute, it's not a quad, it's not a press like a chest or a shoulder muscle, right? It's not a delt, it's not a pec. So what's going to happen is you're not a power movement, right? You're never going to use this muscle for power. They are basically there to help and assist with any pulling exercise. That's what biceps are for. So yes, they get bigger and you can make them bigger and stuff like that, but especially it's going to help if you go slower if you want to get bigger too. So my point is the eccentric motion, the negative motion, you want to go twice as slow on the way down. Here. So it looks like this. 1, 2. You can do a 3 count. 1, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. That's the key on this. Again, it's not a prime mover. The bicep is not a prime mover, so there's no reason to power through it, right? So hope that helps. All right, there you have it. We got 4 things to focus on, right? We don't want to, first keep the elbows forward. We don't want to bend over. We don't want to swing the weight. You don't want to internally rotate. That's going to help you isolate your biceps, right? Isolate, that's all that matters when you're doing bicep work. If you start doing this kind of stuff, you start using your shoulders and all that other kind of junk, and that doesn't work. So I hope that helped. I got another video for you right here on the right here, and I got a whole playlist for you if you want to do some more arms or upper body. I got a whole list for you. So, and please hit the subscribe button. Love to have you on the Fitness Manimal team, and I will get back to you in a comment, or someone on my team will if you leave a message. I'd love to hear from you. So thanks so much for watching. Hope it helped.